They call me Peacemaker.
Welcome back to the MTRM. This is Mike. Today I want to talk to you about the MakeToys Contactshot reissue. This is one of the most anticipated reissues in modern history and Masterpiece realm. Now, I will have a link down below for Show Z, but you really can't get it because they're sold out. And if you've been watching my channel, then you saw the couple of updates on when it went up for pre-order. So this thing was so anticipated that it sells out fast. But we're going to take a look at it. I don't have the original. This is my first time handling it. I'm pretty excited. But anyway, let's get into taking a look at MakeToys Contactshot coming up. All right, here's the box, and yeah, it looks very. It doesn't look like a bad box, but it's kind of muted. It seems like it's like a faded box, like it's faded out or something. But you can see all this kind of stuff over here. It does feel kind of cheap. And some people are saying that this was, I don't know, like a KO, like the factory just made it, and MakeToys isn't part of it. So I don't know. I don't know the reality on that. But the box does kind of look a little bit like a little cheaper. But I don't really care because I'm into the main course, which is the figure. And here he is out of the box, and I think he looks pretty good, actually. I think the original release had a deeper of a red to it than this one. This was a little bit lighter of a red, and we're kind of seeing that with a lot of these reissues, that they're mixing up the plastic. The colors are slightly different than they were originally, but still looks really good overall. And such a cool figure. I am noticing a lot of cues in this that you could tell it's an old mold, but it's still a great figure. But I do want to start out by looking at the accessories. So right out of the box, I was a little confused about how these work, because in my mind, I always think of this as being kind of a shield and a gun combo. And then there was this piece here. And so you have the Target Master, and he transforms into, this is what is Peacemaker. And we'll look at him here in a little bit. Then he has this barrel, and then we have the shield. But the barrel slides off, and you can have just a separate gun on its own, which is fine. And then you can add this barrel here to this piece, which is interesting. And here is the shield, and it has this piece formed into it. And on the bottom, you can just flip this upside down and slide this into place. And then you clip it on with this tab onto his arm right here. So he doesn't hold it, it clips on. So it's a lot different than what I was thinking, how it was going to work. And then you can also pull it off, and for whatever reason, and I have no idea why, maybe just for the looks, maybe so you don't lose it, it clips on back here. Just like a place to store it if you don't want to have it as a shield. Yeah, you don't want to use it as sort of a shield gun. And so those are some of the accessories, and I guess we'll go ahead and get into the faces and all that, and then we'll get into taking a look at everything else in this figure. Alright, so mine came with a total of 4 faces. It looks like you got with glasses, open mouth, without glasses, open mouth, and 2 different helmets. And it is a lot harder to get this helmet on than this one. But I did take everything off, because, and I'm refilming this because it is kind of a pain to do the head. It seems like it'd be simple, but it's a little harder than it should be. Let me show you. We're gonna go ahead and put one on. The head just slides off and slides on, but you have to have the face in place just right to get it in there. It seems like it'd be easy. This is probably gonna be so much easier the second go around, but then you put this over it like that. Yeah, it is much easier the second go around on try and do it, but anyhow, yeah, you got that. You can put the other helmet on, which I don't think this one looks good at all. I like that one, but anyhow, there is the head system and all the different faces for Contactshot. Okay, so let's take a look at this figure and articulation all around at the same time, kind of speed this process up. So his head, as we saw the faces, it looks pretty good. I think I could push that down even a little bit more if I work with it, but I probably need to. Ugh. And so he can look up a little bit, down a little bit, side to side, all of that good stuff. And then the shoulder pads kind of get them out of the way, and you can get all the range you want. If you go all the way out to here, you can just do a whole lot with it. And because of the way it transforms, you have several different extra points of articulation. You can do a lot of crazy stuff with those shoulders. You do have the bicep swivel. You have the, is it double jointed? double jointed at the elbow. Yep, it is. And then you've got just the old-fashioned kind of style of hand where it just really literally just opens up, and the 4 fingers open. You do have a very tight ab crunch waist swivel, and you do have an ab crunch. Yes. Open up the flaps. You can go forward. Now these ratchets are really soft, so as you might have heard a couple times, it just giving a little bit as we were moving around. Now it's not. It'll hold a pose just fine. It just thought it was a little bit strange, just how soft the ratchet is with it. Then close it up. So a lot of stuff on this is going to be kind of old school look. I do like the kind of paint that's going on in there, and then of course the paint on the chest and the wheels. So that does look kind of nice. It's not excessive with the paint. Like down here we have some nice accents right here. That looks really good. So, but overall it just looks a little bit on the bland side, but it does have enough accents to be kind of worthwhile. We got an upper thigh swivel that is ratcheted, which that's usually not ratcheted, and then we've got not a double, but a single only goes out to there, which is more than I'm gonna need, and that's nice and tight, and that's pretty good. And then down below, now the feet are kind of a weak point. You do have a little bit of side to side and ankle tiltage and stuff. So, but they are a bit weak. So it'll hold any pose just fine. But if you move it around too much, you got to be careful, because he will kind of give. You might want to put a little polish in the feet there, because they are a little bit weak. But I haven't had them really fall on me once I've had them in a good pose. It's just while you're posing, you kind of feel the weakness in the legs. But yeah, he looks good. And then from behind, he is pretty clean for what, a 6 or 7 year old figure. Pretty clean figure overall. Yeah, it's so sad that so many people passed on him when he first came out, and now everyone that has been regretting that decision for 7 years or 6 years can pick him up. All right, so let's get into quick comparisons and looking at him side by side with the G1, the most recent, whatever they're calling, what's on, is it Legacy or something? That's on the store shelves right now. That's actually my son's, and oddly enough, if you don't have the Target Master, the one that's out right now, that comes with the Target Master, and it will fit in his hand, and it will look good. That's the thing you want to do. This is the past, present, and the past and present. And here it is next to MakeToys Hardhead, which it's actually Yes model. And then Fans Toys with their Headmasters are moving in that direction right now. I do want to point out that this was pretty much ahead of its time, simply because of the fact that people really weren't making Target Masters. And yeah, MakeToys was doing some characters ahead of their time, which I commend them for. The obligatory Optimus Prime Megatron comparison shot right here. This dude's wide. Kind of hard to get everyone in on these with such a wide bot, but yeah, there it is. So it's a little bit shorter than them, and I think that's actually a perfect height. All right, getting down to the transformation. Before we do that, I just want to point out that I think the only die cast in this figure is in the feet, like right here and right here. And so where it's die cast, it has to be painted, of course. And so with that, let's go ahead and do this fun transformation on him. Okay, so let's go ahead and spin him around, and we're going to open this up, bring this piece folded around, go back a bit so we can put the head in here. Big figure. Let's go up a little higher on the camera. All right, then we need this to go notch back just like so. Let's flip this around, and then we're going to lift these shoulder pads up and kind of get them out of the way for now. Move the arms down. Now the arms have a lot going on. They're gonna do flip around. They just kind of flipped on their own. So they're gonna be in a normal position like that. You're gonna flip around like so. We need to get them oriented to where this is going to all plug in. So this is going to close that hand. It's going to rotate up, slide. It's on a slider here. And then it's going to tab in. Like that. So we do the same thing on the other side. Fold this up, rotate this at the shoulder joint, slide it in, and then tab it in. Now we do need to get this piece here out. Is there an easier way to get it from the back? No. All right, so I'm gonna fold this up a little bit and push this in here to kind of make a little space to get it to where it can open. And that came untabbed while I was doing that. All right, so from here, we're gonna get this out, and let's get all this tab back in. It just came untabbed while I was trying to get all of that in there. Okay, so we kind of got that solidified. Then we can tab this together up top. And for now, that's kind of where we are going to just finish with the upper part. Let's get into the lower area here and get this going on. Now we'll go ahead and fold this up out of the way for now. We can actually fold it up and completely into its spot to just get it out of our way completely. All right, so we got to work on these legs here. So we'll do one at a time, and I guess we need to get a lower angle on this. So we're going to open this up and all of this, and we're going to slide the big section slides out, and then we're going to rotate this piece here into it, and it tabs in like that. So it gets a kind of a wide stance. Speaking of a wide stance, you need to widen the leg. So kind of like X-Transbot's cup there, it's kind of the same type of operation that it has going on. This is going to slide down. Well, it slides up on this, but technically when you flip it around, it's sliding down. And this is going to become the tail end of it once it's folded around. Then we need to fold. Okay, that's not wanting to stay in like that, but we are going to fold this around. And it seems like it's pretty good solid hardware to hold up. Gotta get it past that. And then everything's gonna have to fold into everything just right. And fold this foot down. And let's get it from another angle as it's closing in on itself here. Make sure that that is at the right angle. Correct angle. This is going to tab in up here. Okay, down below, make sure that fits in just right, and then finish all of this stuff falling into place. Get that tabbed in, all of this down, and then this is going to fold over to the back. This is going to fold over onto the bottom, and there we go. So far, so good. Now for the other leg, split this open and fold that out, and then slide all of this out, notch this in. This tab goes into that slot, but it pops out, so it's just going to keep popping out, which that's not that much fun. Now we're going to fold the foot up and into there so that we have it ready, and then we'll start folding this over. We do need to open that up, slide this up. So start the folding and then start getting everything to clear it. And you know, it's the exact same thing, but the second side is going to have probably slightly different issues because you're having to cover it all. Let's go ahead and move these hands. I think the hands need to be more like that to get it everything past everything. And there we go. Getting stuff into place. I feel like this side here, this is a little too far over. So we'll have to take a look at that. And then get this over here into tabbed in. Let's look at the side here. Pull that back piece in. This should tab together. This should close up. So I'm going to take a look at it. I think I have this piece here a little too far over, so I'm going to have to look into that just a little bit and figure that one out. Okay, so just manipulating this just a little bit. I did have that over a little too much. Now we're going to get this the tabs in right here really well, and then just go around and tighten everything up. And all over, this kind of came undone here, so go around to each spot here and just tighten it up. Make sure everything's tabbed in and tabbed in as we go, and then it should be pretty much done there. I'm going to tighten up just a little more. We'll take a look at it. Okay, so now getting the accessories ready to go. Let's look at PEACEMAKER here, and here is the Target Master. We are going to do a couple of things. First of all, let's get his handle out of the way, flip it around, and then flip this up, and then fold it around, and then we can have freedom to bring his legs down, and then his arms right here. And he's old school. It's an old school Target Master. Not really too bad considering for the time. Nowadays they are a little bit bigger. It doesn't really fit in the scale with MakeToys and X-Transbots. So just kind of to get in perspective there, that's the X-Transbots version and how much bigger X-Transbots is than that. Okay, so we're going to put this guy here in to the cockpit, which looks really nice, the driver's seat. And right here, everything on this does look nice and shiny. It really does shine, like all the shiniest parts. Actually, it looks shinier in the alt mode than it does in the bot mode with the shiny plastic. Okay, so just get him in a seated position and put him in here, and then close it up, and it works. He's now driving, and it's a cool looking figure. Now, as you can see, it's almost a dog bone like G.I. Joe, but it's not really a dog bone, but it's a tab so that you can put this in here, and it goes on as like an extra engine. So now it looks right and looks the part as an alt mode. So I think this does look really good. And a lot of times people looked at this and they're like, well, I didn't do the Target Master, so I don't really have an homage to it, but it really is a cool looking figure. I mean, just kind of like the flame on the side, that looks cool. The that popping off by barely bumping it, but there's the back of it, and that looks really good. Just, it looks clean. It looks really clean. Oh, that popped open. But it does look really clean as a vehicle, as a car. Red, futuristic, Cybertronian, space car, whole lot of fun. Yeah, looks good. I'm really pleased with it. And the alt mode, the transformation isn't really that horrible. I probably need to tighten some stuff up. It does have rubber tires. Mine, make sure the tires are lined just right, since they are rubber, to get it to roll right. But doesn't roll super easy, but it does roll. But yeah, rubber tires. I mean, that's kind of a thing that's hit and miss these day and age. So there he is. There's alt mode. Let's go ahead and get into some of the comparisons. Here's next to the G1, and as you can see, it's much bigger, but really stays true to the overall G1 design and aesthetic. So definitely cool, fun. I like it. I've had this thing forever, but funny thing was I have a second one now because it costs the same to get this one piece that you want to buy a whole other figure with that piece. It's like if you buy this piece from someone, they'll throw in the figure price-wise. I mean, that's not what they're thinking, but that's the way pricing structure works on eBay these days. But I think I picked that up like a year ago or something for real cheap because I just wanted that part. But anyway, let's get into some Masterpiece comparison. Here he is next to Magic Square Prime. As you can see, he towers. Well, it doesn't really tower over. He's big, and this doesn't scale. Like, if you think about kind of a futuristic space car. But then again, this is also like smaller. It's funny, it's smaller in the bot mode, but bigger. It feels bigger in the alt mode. Then here we go next to a hot rod, and so way bigger than another Cybertronian hot rod vehicle which similarities there. And then the fans' toys. Spindrift 2.0, let's try again. Spindrift is what that one is. And then we have Mirage. Sphinx from MMC. It's a big boy. As for features, you can pop these up and you have these little guns in there, but I just popped mine up for the first time ever and I'm missing that. So, it's a QC thing going on here, seeing as how this is such a small issue. I'm not too mad about it, but it's surprising that it's in one but not the other. So that kind of sucks. But still, it's a feature if you want to check it out. Alright, so this was my look at the MakeToys Contactshot, and MakeToys was ahead of their time. They did a good job on this figure back in the day. So many of us saw it and passed on it because they were ahead of their time and people really weren't into this. They were still like Season 1 and Season 2, but I think that it looks pretty good overall. It's a little lacking in paint. By today's standards, a lot of the figures are premium and painted head to toe. This is not painted head to toe, but the accents where they are painted do look nice, and the figure overall does have a nice aesthetic, fits in with everything else on the shelf, and the mold holds up relatively well for a 7-year-old figure. So it's good that collectors get a shot at this to actually get a figure that was commanding $300 on the secondary market. Now, Shozi was selling it for $77, then $80, then it was sold out. You missed out on it. Now, if you pay attention to my channel, if you've been watching my channel, I tell you about things like this, especially the most important ones that I think will sell out fast. I tell you right away, usually on the community tab or first thing in one of my videos. But I'm going to have a link down below where you can get yours if they get a restock from Shozi. I did get this from Shozi. And let me know what you think about this figure. Are you super excited that it came out? Did you get one? Did you follow the link on my community tab, pick one up when they were still available? And I'm curious what everybody thinks. Like, subscribe. Titanium Hanger out.
Got the wrong bunch.
He's right.
Let us go.
We're not your enemies. I'm Pinpointer, and I'm an even better shot than he is.
And I'm Firebolt.
Watch.
Yeah, the Decepticons are headmasters and target masters too.
How did this all happen? It's a long story, Prime.
We are the target masters.
And we're all headmasters now, Prime.